The purpose of this video is just to give you a very quick overview of the SLOR, which is the SLO reporting. So one way to think about this is the SLO reporting system. But it's SLOR online reports for folks like deans, chairs, coordinators, basically administration management. So to begin, what you're going to do is to log into My Southwest. I want to point out a couple different icons. The SLOR icon has this light blue R behind it. If you look down further, you'll see that it's the SLO icon, and that would be the online exams. But the SLOR icons have this big R behind it. Now the faculty in general use this faculty icon. It allows them to post, for example, their use of results, which is the fourth column in the four-column model. But if you're a department chair, a dean, the head of institutional research, you would use this icon. Now I've already clicked it, and to save time, here we are over here. And I'm doing a simulation that is referencing Dr. Fox and what he sees, and permissions will vary depending on what you're the chair over, what you're the dean over. You're going to see different things. Now this is our last year, and you see academic report and when it opened and when it closed, and I'm going to click on that. And here are the rubrics that we're seeing. I think you can sort them alphabetically here. And you see it. Sometimes you have to be just, oh, well, goodness. Okay, might have an error message there. That's because I clicked on subject and I was sorting. Now, within each one of these, and let's just take maybe accounting, for example. Normally we see accounting at the top. This is where you see the reports for that, or we could see legal. They always do a great job. Oops, I'm sorry. I'm going to click that link. Now, do be patient, because depending on how many courses there are, this can take a little time, because it's going out to the database right now and it's retrieving all that information. And so you see while it says waiting. Now this is where a lot of people get confused, because they only see this and they don't continue. And the key thing here is you are going to have to scroll down. But let me explain before we do that. The first thing that we have is a listing of the courses, so that we can very quickly talk to the auditors, for example, or see whether or not it was assessed using the online SLO system. There are some things that it makes sense not to assess with that. For example, a co-op. You would not necessarily have an SLO exam for a co-op, so it makes sense that that is not assessed via the system. But it's a very quick listing of the courses, so that you can very quickly check it. Again, scrolling down, this is very key. Now you start to see the individual courses, and this is our four-column model. And so the first column states the objective. The second column says what is the baseline, and the accepted norm is that 70% of students will demonstrate knowledge of the, in this case, the court system by answering. So 70% is the norm, and by answering at least 2 of the 3 goal-related questions. To be clear, this is not the same as saying the student earned 70% on the quiz. That's totally different. What we're saying is the student is counted if of the 3 questions related to this goal, they have successfully answered 2 of those 3 questions. Same here. For this goal, if they successfully answered 2 of the 3 questions, then they would be counted towards that 70%. Now, as we look across, this is where the results are tabulated from the SLO system and fed into the SLOR system. So as we look, it itemizes it, and this was at the request of SACS. It itemizes it based on the overall, if there is a hybrid offering, if there is an online offering, if there is a traditional offering in that particular semester. We only do this for the fall and spring semesters because that we're really only required to do a sample. We are actually much more thorough than perhaps a lot of other institutions. And then we would go through through and post the use of results there. So this is a good one where the goal was met for that. So we can see goal met, current presentation practices will be continued. So that would be one. We can go back in. We could let's look at business. And again, you have to be patient. Okay, so remember, you're going to see this overview first. You're going to see who the assigned lead faculty is. This is something that our department will need to sit down and look at, for example, in the upcoming year, because we've had some staff changes. So we may want to look at these, but we do have people who are assigned as the lead faculty, you know, whether it was the class, maybe the class wasn't even offered in a particular semester. If it wasn't offered during that particular semester, then you know, then it wouldn't, you know, if it's not offered, like human resource management during a given semester, then obviously it wouldn't be assessed. And we see who the, you know, the lead faculty are for these classes. So again, here we have goal, the norm 70% by answering 2 of the 3 goal-related questions, the goal met. And yeah, okay, this was entirely online. As you look through some of these, nice little graph here at the bottom, but as you look through some of these, if they are offered in a variety of formats, so this is a good one. Yeah, intro to business, naturally. As you look at this one, you can see this was the percentage for overall, this was the percentage for hybrid, this was the percentage for online. And some of the accreditation bodies like to look at that online to make sure that they're competitive with the others. Very normal for the first goal to be for the students to do really well. As things get tougher, for example, throughout a course, they may have a little bit more difficulty. So you get the idea. That's the reporting system, and that's how you view the reports. And I hope this video was helpful.